familia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu. We're
My
over here cracking
familia.
up. Yeah.
And we're here for 3 movies. We got
Crimson
Bridge of
Peak.
Spy, Crimson Peak,
And Goosebumps.
which is this video.
Yes, we're going to be talking about right now.
Jack Blicka Black.
Ooh, for all those that are subscribers on the YouTube channel right here, ChasingCinema.com, you guys will know every Thursday I do a Throwback Thursday review, and last Thursday I reviewed School of Rock because for some reason, I think me and you talked about this, everyone kept bringing it up to me, and they're like, you need to rewatch it, because I was never a big School of Rock lover, but for some reason, a lot of people love, and I mean love, that movie. And so I rewatched it, and I thought it was good. I still didn't fall in love with it. The movie's got 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. Blows me away. But nonetheless, everyone's kind of been talking about Jack Black, and here we have R.L. Stine's Goosebumps. Now, we talked about this. R.L. Stine's Goosebumps books have always been something that we've come to know. It's very big pop culture in our childhood.
Anyone my age knows about them.
Yeah, I remember leaving class, going to the book fair, looking around the Scholastic book fair, and looking around everything and being like, "Oh, Goosebumps! Yeah, that's the only thing really kind of cool here." And I remember
the Scholastic
the book
fairs and never buying anything.
Yeah, because they send you with the catalog. They're like, "Take it home," and your parents are like, "You don't need none of that." But I remember. I remember staying up very late as a child, reading R.L. Stine. I mean, The House of the Dead, A Night at Terror Tower. I mean, I remember reading all of these books, Say Cheese and Die. And I think, you know, at that age, I had seen a lot of horror movies, but I don't think I was ever really introduced to horror fiction. And R.L. Stine was kind of my gateway to that. I mean, I would become a huge fan of Stephen King, like pretty much any reader loves Stephen King. You know, Pet Sematary, which I reviewed today on our YouTube channel. You can go check that video out.
Well, FYI.
Yeah, that movie scares the hell out of me. But yeah, where was I going now? Oh, but it was like my first kind of intro to horror fiction, and I would stay up late reading it, and it would be fun. It was adventurous, and you know, kind of creepy. So. But time kind of separated us, you know? Time separated me in that classic series. I think it ended in '97. That's probably when I started actually reading it, though. So,
18 years ago.
Yeah. Well, jeez, 18 years. Oh, yeah.
97.
Yeah. So, time went on, and then all of a sudden, R.L. Stine is back, bringing all of his characters back to this movie. So I'm excited. I think it'll be hopefully a fun adventure. I'm a bit hesitant just because it looks a little bit too over the top, and I know R.L. Stine was a big part of this movie, so I'm sure he was
still
able.
alive?
Yeah, he is still alive, and I'm sure he'll be able to kind of hopefully keep the spirit of his stuff. But I don't know if they're just picking properties and saying, "Oh, this will make money," or they really care about this. So I'm interested, though.
All right, let's see if we can get it back to the past.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we just got out of
Goosebumps.
And I just got out of
Crimson Peak.
Yes, so if you haven't seen my review for that with Chasing Cinema,
you go
it's
check
already
it out
online, so as soon as you're done watching this one, check that one out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's hear it. Goosebumps, should I watch it?
Yes, and I'm really kind of surprised by that. I mean, I was really expecting this movie to be just too much for me. And I actually enjoyed myself. I thought that it was a very effective movie. It was a very fun family film. I will say it was a bit on the long side. I think that we probably could have, and people are going to say I'm kind of hypocritical for this one when we talk about the other movie, Bridge of Spies, down here in the description box, but could have trimmed a little bit. And there was a little bit issues with the pacing, but other than that, I thought this movie was a really effective, fun movie. I watched it with a huge audience of families, you know, kids, adults, and the adults were able to kind of have that nostalgia. The kids were able to kind of finally explore and learn about some of these creatures. And there's so many awesome creatures in this movie, from Slappy the Dummy, from the Abominable Snowman from Pasadena, the werewolf from Fever Swamp. I mean, there's a lot of great fun characters to kind of see, and there's a lot more. And of course, there's Slappy the Dummy, who was actually voiced by Jack Black, and we all know Slappy the Dummy is probably the most famous character out of the Goosebumps series, and they make their interactions really amazing. Jack Black, who plays R.L. Stine, which we find out somewhat in the movie, but it kind of tells us in the trailer. When he's battling,
yeah, they say it.
Do they say it?
Yeah,
okay. So Jack Black and Slappy the Dummy kind of go head to head quite often in this movie, and it's watching him kind of like bury his own creation, and they make it kind of really cool. And Jack Black really does a great job voicing him because it's barely noticeable, but he does it in such a way that you could actually believe that this is how this dummy would actually talk.
Talented man.
Yeah, the visuals and stuff are really fun, but it's the creatures that kind of steal the show. Everyone in the theater is like, mostly who's loved these books are just waiting to point out the characters and who's from what. And I was finding myself doing that as well. But the cast is charismatic. Everyone's kind of fun to watch. It feels like a real kid adventure that we were known more for in the 80s and early 90s. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was nothing spectacular, but overall, I was very satisfied with watching.
Do you think it's top 80 of this year?
Top 80 of this year. Oh man, I wouldn't say no, because 80 is quite a high number. I don't know how many I've seen this year thus far. I actually stopped keeping count, and I really regret it. But
you're not serious.
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
All right, so chasingcinema.com/
Goosebumps.
and you can see the full-on review.
Yes.
Written by
myself.
Jacob R.
Yeah, and we could talk about reading and imagination. And
love it.
I think that's what kind of won me over. Is this movie's about the child imagination.
Do you
and
think
exploring books and reading?
For real, do you think if someone's never read a Goosebumps and just watched this movie, they would enjoy it the way you did, or do you think you had a little nostalgia on your side?
I definitely had nostalgia on my side, but I think kids will enjoy it. I don't think it's limit. I don't think you need to be a fan of Goosebumps, or you need to watch. I think it's definitely going to be more of a special experience for them. But I think this will actually, if anything, intrigue kids to tell their parents to get them a Goosebumps book. Maybe. I mean, maybe. But
I'm sure that's
because the books are actually part of the movie. The books are actually real. They're part of the universe. It's not like, the whole situation happens is that the creatures actually emerge from the books.
Yep.
So I think that's really cool that it actually makes them known, and then the kids can be like, oh, those are real books. I'd love to read them. Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure that's the intention too.
I'm sure because this movie is definitely about imagination and the power of reading and how writing can really the power of reading and the power of writing. Something that we both do a lot. So good stuff.
Love it.
That was fun.
If you haven't seen our review on Crimson Peak,
make sure to go check that out.
What are they waiting for?
That's a blast.
You guys see which one you like better, Crimson Peak or Goosebumps.
Are you asking me, or do you want?
They gotta know.
Okay, you guys gotta.
They gotta know. And then also, Bridge of Spies.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg.
Already online.
Do it all down in the
come on,
description box.
You have a director of Steven Spielberg, and you have an actor like Tom Hanks.
A collaboration of a lifetime.
And the return of Wilson, the volleyball.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to see. I don't know. You have
in
to check
7 days, what are we watching? Gem and the Holograms?
Gem and the Holograms, which I'm not sure if we're getting here released, but I know we're getting. It should be Gem and the Holograms, the last Witch Hunter, starring Vin Diesel.
Familia. We got the Familia.
Yeah, we have the grumbling Groot.
I love my Familia.
My family. Killing the witches first. I don't know. And then we have Paranormal Activity, which
then again,
I feel like
Jordana Brewster was my sister. I want to be familiar too. Then I'll pull up Crimson Peak. Sorry.
That was kind of a spoilers joke. Yeah, I don't know what number we are on anymore on Paranormal Activity, but we've seen a lot together. I feel like we've seen.
We saw the Hispanic one.
Yeah, it's the marked ones.
Yeah. We saw 4 and 3.
Was there a 5?
I don't know.
Because I realized, I was like, oh, this movie's 5. They're just not. I think it was the marked ones. I was like, oh, they're not calling it 5. They're just calling it the marked ones. But then there was a 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we're at least 5 or 6.
All right. So 7 days later, we'll be back.
But movies. The ending. But sorry to interrupt you. But the ending of the Paranormal Activity movie, it started bringing everything full circle.
In the marked ones.
Was it the marked ones?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. So now I'm interested. Are we coming to a conclusion? We'll probably not come to.
Come on, dog. Come on.
It's late, but I'm interested in seeing how because that ended really interesting. But hope I'm sure it'll be the same formula.
Yeah, that was the marked one.
Creepy slasher film end.
You're talking about the one where at the very end they all go to the house and they're all chasing each other.
No, I'm talking about when the kid. I know which one you're thinking of. In the abandoned house, there's one where a kid, someone goes into the door and it brings him back to the first house. He enters into another dimension, and you find out that they're the ones making noise that disrupts the family from the first Paranormal Activity film.
Oh damn it! I don't remember that. That's
really?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll send you a YouTube clip or something. But
yeah,
I'm interested to see how that all worked out.
Okay.
Because this one's called the Ghost Dimension, so it has to be about it. So I think it's called the Ghost Dimension.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fun night.
Reviews.
ChaseCinema.com. Everything's in the description box. Next week, man.
Film Lovers
website.